Hey everybody, Tamara Tamu here bringing you another episode of Unleashed Alchemy. We are really up close and personal with the camera today, so let me move this back just a little bit. So we're going to have a different type of episode. We are still talking about money and how that has everything to do with your spiritual odyssey. All right, because when we talk about money, we are talking about abundance. We know that when we talk about abundance, it goes beyond money, but money is a very important part of the abundance conversation. And it is about your identity and what you believe that you deserve. And speaking of what you believe that you deserve, we're going to talk about the undeserving link that is a part of that programming that comes from religion and other systems that are outside of us that we are going to debunk right now. All right. So we're going to do something a little bit different. I am going to read to you a few excerpts from my newest book, which is now available in paperback on Amazon. It is called Tales of a Money Maven: How Religious and Other Programming Has Effed Up Your Money. All right. So let's talk about the undeserving link. All right. That plays into our identity. When it comes to money specifically, we can apply this to everything, but in this series, we're focused specifically on money. And that had to be one of the hardest things for me to admit, is that I was carrying a story that said that I didn't deserve money and anything else that I truly desired. Okay. So when I was growing up in church, I saw many people working hard every single day. And I mean working hard. What to me they were getting to me seemed like crumbs. And it seemed like all of their buildup and their hard work and what they were getting in return did not match. Okay. So growing up, I had a vision of this large, big life. And I'm not talking about necessarily having a bunch of material things and a bunch of items and homes and all this stuff, but I knew that I deserved what I wanted, regardless of the cost. Okay. I deserved this big life. Living big and living in luxury seemed like my thing. It seemed like that belonged to me. And I also had the inkling that the way that I saw people going about getting what they wanted, that there had to be a more joyful way. Because remember, I said I saw a lot of people working hard, yet what they were getting in return was crumbs. And what they were working, they were just doing. There was no joy in it, there was no love in it. So this is not about us not working, but we deserve, and I knew that I deserved to go about my work wherever that was going to take place, whether it was work of my hands, whatever. I knew that I deserved to do it in joy, in peace. I knew that it did not have to be a struggle, it did not have to be hard, although those were the messages that were coming to me. I knew that as a child. So what happened was, as I moved through my adulthood, I realized that what I intuitively knew as a child, that had been buried. It was almost as if I forgot. So growing up, as I became an adult, I started to adopt this whole struggle and hard work thing, and working regardless of how you felt about the work that you were doing. And also believing and adopting the story that you have to work regardless of whether you like what you're doing or not, because that's just a part of life. I adopted that. So as I moved through adulthood, I placed a lot, well, really most of my emphasis was on external achievements, doing the most, because I thought if I did the most, eventually I would get the most. So as I went throughout my adulthood, I achieved, some things. I have, several degrees. I had a business, an apparel business. I had relationships that on the outside looked like they were ideal. But my external achievements, I viewed all of those things as subpar. I viewed all of those things as subpar because I told myself, well, I didn't work hard enough, so then therefore I don't deserve my desires. Because if I had deserved my desires, then my external achievements or my external, I would have a flourishing business. So that really affected how I viewed my deserving level. And what that does for you, if you're watching, if you are dealing with, okay, what do I deserve? Watch what you say about what you want. If your deserving level is, and hold on just a second. Okay, sorry about that. If your deserving level is at a low point, if you do not allow yourself to speak exactly what you want, if you stop yourself, if someone were to ask you, what do you truly desire in your life? How do you truly desire your life, and what do you want? How much money do you want coming into your life, into your hands, into your bank accounts, into your purses, into your bags every single day? And you find yourself getting ready to speak. Well, it'd be nice to have this, and this much money coming in, doing this thing and doing what I love. But then you stop yourself and you say, well, I really desire this, but this will be okay. That is what I'm talking about. That there's a self-deserving issue and I don't like to use the word issue, but there is a self-deserving static frequency in there that is low vibe. So you have to address that. It doesn't say who you are as a person, because I know that can be difficult. I said at the top of this video that was one of the hardest things for me to realize as I began and really started to focus on my spiritual odyssey. That was one of the top 3 things that I had to uncover and address and alchemize. All right, so let me go on to the next thing here. So as I told you, growing up, I had this idea, this vision for this big life that went beyond what I was seeing, what I was experiencing in my life. And as I grew up, I started to tell myself, well, who am I to think that I could want and desire more than what I've seen? Who am I to think that? So I would go by stores, really expensive stores, and I would pretend that I didn't see those stores. I would want so bad to go in and smell the leather, smell the expensive perfume, and just go in and allow myself to be in that wealth frequency. But because of my that undeserving link, I told myself, well, it's going to be a long time before I can afford that anyway, so why even go in there? When really it was about what I thought I deserved. Because what you think you deserve has nothing to do with time. You can have what you deserve right now, has nothing to do with time. All right? So that whole story provided Now I'm reading from the book. That story provided an expanded runway for the belief that money was hard for me to attain, especially in large amounts. So I'm going to read more. The conversation about what we believe we deserve must include self confidence. All right. So once I started my career, and I say career of working multiple jobs at one time, sometimes 2 and 3 jobs at one time. All right. Once I started that, the vision that my soul presented to me and had always been there, it just seemed too great. It seemed out of reach. All right. Again, I did not think that I deserved that because I didn't have it and because of what I saw growing up. So I really believe this. I believed that it must be good that my life was less than stellar. Because if I deserved what I wanted, I would have it. So this type of thinking is a product of the religious thinking that, for example, that God gives disease. For example, growing up, if a person got sick, the reasoning was, God has given me this trial, so I must endure. We live being blinded from our true self that identifies with internal and external harmony. Disease and lack, in this case we're talking about lack of money, disease and lack occur when our nervous system calibrates to beliefs and stories that are misaligned with our true soul's intent. The deserving link also affects our ability to receive. So I want you to think about the last time someone offered you help or complimented you. If you have difficulty accepting help or compliments, you have difficulty receiving, and that is a sign that you need to check where your self-deserving level lies. This blip in your operated system is also tied to the hard work link. That hard work link, that behavioral pattern, that is also in a separate section in the book. All right. So if we believe we have to work hard for everything, someone offering their assistance in any type of way can feel foreign, possibly bringing up feelings of distrust. And that goes on to the next section. So with this self-deserving link, I want you to really think about how you allow yourself to say what you truly want. And here's what I want to do. I want to bring up a question. This question that I want to leave with you. Give me just a moment. Okay, so here's what I want to invite you to do. I want to invite you to make a list of what you desire to experience for yourself right now. Include how you desire to feel every day of your life. Now, if that is giving you some type of, if you feel, when I said that, I want you to pay attention to where you felt that in your body, because that is also a sign too. Your body tells you where it has calibrated. All right. So when you do this list, don't think about time. We're not concerned with time. We're not concerned with age. We are not concerned with location, where you live. We're not concerned with the balance of your checking or your savings account. We're not concerned with any of that. We're not concerned if you carry a certain amount of debt. We're not concerned with any of that. This exercise is going to just allow you, not just, but it's going to allow you to tap into your soul again, to get reacquainted with the truth of you, the abundant you, the you that deserves to live in external harmony. And that includes having an overflow of money, an overflow of resources to do the things that you want to do, in the way that you desire to do them, in the way that you were called to do them, on your spiritual Odyssey. All right, so check out the link to my book that is on Amazon, Tales of a Money Maven. Also, if you would like to work one on one with me, there is a link for you to schedule a call to see how we can work together, how I can support you on your spiritual odyssey. Also, don't forget that enrollment for my magic school is always open. It is a monthly membership where you will have access to more workshops that will support you also on this spiritual odyssey. There is also a community section in there where I show up to offer readings to you, where you get to connect with other magicians and alchemists and share your realizations and be in a safe space where you can do that, where you're not going to be judged or you're not going to be told that you sound crazy. Okay. Also, in that community, I go live every single month where I deliver either a live workshop, brand new workshop, or we do Q&A. Okay, so those links for all of those resources are in the description box of this video. And so until next time, cheers.